Ugh.
Smack 'em a we are
We are
live,
live.
right? We're live.
Yes,
We are live.
we are live.
Hi, everybody. It's Thursday night, and we're going to celebrate some anniversaries tonight. A lot of records were released on this day.
Too many.
Too many.
A lot of stuff.
And a lot that I haven't even listened to.
But not this day, but this week and this last couple of months, you know. I mean, the last couple of days over this last week is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very cool.
40th anniversary, 1984. Wait.
Yep.
Ride the Lightning is 84?
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, I'm brain dead. I could have sworn it was 85.
No, 84.
You know
84.
why I think that? I'll tell you, man. Back in the 80s, down here in Florida, you would never find anybody to hate on Metallica.
Mm.
They were like, you know, even all the way up to Master of Puppets. Either you love Metallica or you're one of those people that, oh, I hate that trash metal. I'd rather listen to shit like that, like the glam fans, which those people are, you know, are excused. But in 1985, I was in California and I witnessed the very first Metallica hater ever in 1985. Yep, he was saying they sold out. Back then, they sold out.
Yeah. Well, I remember on that Cliff and Mall video when they were like doing interviews and stuff, and somebody said that they sold out or whatever. You know?
Yeah. Well, they said not only did they sell out with Fade to Black, they sold out with the intro to Fight Fire with Fire. How?
I remember you talking about this. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's idiotic, man. Fight Fire with Fire is not a sellout song.
Just because it has acoustic guitars?
Yeah, because of the intro. they just love the bitch.
My favorite Metallica record for sure.
They're just so jealous.
I love that album. I love Escape. Call of Cthulhu, I'm not too crazy about.
Really?
I like everything on it. I like Escape. Escape's a cool song. I like every song on this record. It's great to me. It was my introduction. And I just remember some guy coming to school with this. He had the original Megaforce cassette. It looked so cheap because it was just like a white cover with the little square in the middle of this album cover, you know. And let me borrow it. You know, I went home and made a dub of it, and it was pretty much like, wow, this is cool. You know, this is faster than I'd heard Motorhead and Venom, and I was like, you know, this is faster when I heard, you know, Fight Fire with Fire. That is the first song, and then it kind of, you know, broadened out the spectrum of the different songs on here. And God, I remember I had the first wreck I ever had in my car when I started driving. The first fender bender I ever had was For Whom the Bell Tolls was played. Yeah.
Do you have the green version of the album?
No, I do not. That's a French pressing. It's a company called Burnett Records, I believe it's there, Brunette or something like that.
My friend has it. My friend has that green cover.
There's countless counterfeits of it out there now, but yeah, if you can find the original, that's
my friend's had that since like late 80s. I remember he had it. I don't think there was counterfeits back then. Maybe, I don't know.
No, that was all the original ones. I believe that was just it was a problem at the pressing plant, like just a miss, somebody screwed up and it came out green, but it looks cool. It's got a cool look to it if you can find the green one. But yeah, of course I bought that box set that came out as well, you know.
Yeah, me too.
That was cool. You know, that's got a lot of cool stuff in it. She got the Creeping Death.
He's got the Creeping
single,
Death.
You know. I believe I still have the original cassette that I had purchased from that somewhere.
Oh, check out that butt.
Yeah, I still have the original cassette for that. It was a Music for Nations. Yeah, I got something to kill this Got so much light shining in here on me.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I got the bootleg version. It's got Creeping Death and there's I think Am I Evil or something on there.
They did one. It was I remember it came out on CD and it had
Yeah.
Jump into Fire and the Creeping Death EP on one, but I don't know if it was a bootleg or what. I just remember that being out at one point.
I got this
Yeah.
really, really rare box set where it was all the Metallica singles up to, you know, this is Injustice for All.
Mm-hmm.
Creeping Death was in there, Whiplash, One. I think Eye of the Beholder was a single.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
That had Bread Fan from Budgie was the B side.
And it brought this really cool pin. Anyway, something very special about Ride the Lightning was when Ted Bundy was killed. Right at the second they put him in that electric chair, I was at my friend Paul's house and we cranked Ride the Lightning at that very moment because we were watching the news. Yeah. And they're like, we're gonna zap him now. And it's like, put it on.
They showed the execution on the news.
No, but they showed when they did it.
Oh, okay.
They you know, it was a certain time. It was like 10 in the morning or something. And I know it was early in the morning. It was like around 10. And yeah, we cranked up Ride the Lightning, man. That song sounded the best that day.
Yeah.
That song sounds better, I mean, good any day, really. I mean, it's a great song. The whole album's good, you know. There's not really anything bad.
I do love it. And I don't hate Call of Cthulhu. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. Let's cut the deck. Call of Cthulhu is a cool song, but for me, I can do without it. You know,
well, it's one of my favorite instrumentals.
And yet, my all-time favorite Metallica song is Orion.
Really?
Which is an instrumental, but that's my all-time favorite Metallica song. And then I would say Fight Fire and Motor Breath. Those are my top three right there.
I used to love Motor Breath.
You used to love it?
I used to. I was very a huge fan of the Kill 'Em All album, and it just from listening to it so much, I just I'm tired of hearing it. And then plus two, the way Lars plays the drums on that song now, he like forgets that whole drum roll because he doesn't have all the drums anymore to play it. So it sounds stupid to me. So I kind of got sick of hearing that song. But I still
I'm still watching that drummer. I sent you the link to the drummer that looks like Lars that that's playing other songs as Lars would play it. God, it is hilarious, man. God, it's so funny.
It's a shame. Yeah. He was awesome back in the day, especially on Ride the Lightning. I think his drumming got improved from Kill 'Em All, and just to see what he turned into now is kind of just. I don't know. He's just not playing like he used to. I mean, of course, he's older and stuff like that. But to see him dumb down the drums, playing these songs from Ride the Lightning and even Kill 'Em All, just kind of it hurts me a little bit, you know.
He's dumbing all the way to the bank. You don't care.
It doesn't matter. They don't even have to be playing live anymore. They don't have to make any music. In the chat here, which box set is better, Sabotage, Super Deluxe, or AC/DC's Bonfire set? I'm gonna go with Sabotage, probably.
Yeah, I'll go with Sabotage.
I was very disappointed with the Bonfire box set.
No, I like the Bonfire. I like Dirty Eyes.
Well, Bonfire was cool, but they left so much stuff out that they eventually we got it on those backtrack sets. Yeah,
like Fling Thing, Carry Me Home.
Yeah, I mean they just omitted so much stuff. Well, since we're on that, we'll move on to 45 years of Highway to Hell.
Highway to Hell.
A very cool.
And I mean that's such an iconic album cover. But the story, this was shot during the Power Age photo shoot.
Oh, really?
So the cover of Power Age of Angus is exactly from this. He's wearing the same clothes, basically.
Wow, I did not know
no idea.
It's the same. It's from the same photo shoot, and then the artist just went in and added the horns and the tail. But there's a whole piece that I remember seeing. I know Monty Connor on Facebook. Monty does these little Facebook posts about album covers, and he finds deleted shots or shots from the same photo shoot and stuff. And he's the one that pointed that out, that it's all from the same shoot. It's crazy, but still iconic cover. I remember when the whole Satanic Panic thing was out, they were talking about, of course, you got the devil horns now, but supposedly Bon Scott's wearing a pentagram. He's just got a star around his neck. Just
turn that album around, Tony. Turn it around.
Backside.
I can't make it out. Does Malcolm have short hair? Because Malcolm had short hair on those videos.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's hard to tell because it's blacked out. I mean, it's so dark around him.
Right.
So yeah,
because now that you look at the album cover, it's like, yeah, man, his hair was short during Highway to Hell.
Yeah, those videos that they made. Hey, why did they never showed those videos on MTV back in the day?
Weird, right?
But they're really dark. If you look at, there's not very good lighting, so maybe they just weren't happy with them.
Right.
This is a fold out 7-inch single. Got Girls Got Rhythm, If You Want Blood, from the Highway to Hell record, and then Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be, Rock and Roll Damnation. It's a little fold out thing. That's kind of cool.
Awesome.
That's cool.
And here's a single.
Gary Schaefer's trying to buy all the ACDC singles and stuff, man. That's cool.
That's my favorite ACDC song, Touch Too Much.
That's my favorite ACDC song as well.
Really? Oh.
This, if you notice here, this album cover, the shot is reversed because everybody's left-handed.
Yeah.
But I don't know how they make mistakes like that in the art departments, but it happens a lot. Happened with Kiss a lot. You always see Paul's star on the wrong side of his face. And in Australia, it came out with flames on the cover. Now this is an unofficial pressing because I can't afford the real deal one. I mean, those things are $300 if you can find one with the flame cover. So I was at a record show and I found this one for like $25. I was like, yeah, I'll buy it. Still the same back cover. Nothing different. Otherwise, it's just you've got the fretboard of the guitar looks like a highway. That's kind of cool,
Yeah, I like that cover. I think I like that one.
And there's a bootleg album from the tour. It says it's one of the last shows that Bon Scott did. I forgot where it says it's recorded. But it's Berlin. Yeah, it's Berlin. 3/12/79 or either, so that could be, that's got to be, I guess that's got to be December 3rd, 79. But kind of cool. Dirty Big Balls is the name of this bootleg.
It's grabbing his
I got a bootleg CD from that tour. It's like a soundboard or something. It sounds amazing. And Bon Scott gets in a fight with the security guard, and it's pretty fucking funny. It's in Maryland. Awesome. That's where it was recorded, in Maryland on the Highway to Hell tour.
Well, we were talking about Touch Too Much. And I mean, this song just shows the magic of Mutt Lange. He basically came in and made it, and that was a radio hit. I mean, I don't know if it was a radio hit really, but I mean, it could have been a radio hit. It's just got everything that you need for a hit song. And if you listen to the demo of it, the demo sounds like a typical Chuck Berry styled AC/DC track. So,
yeah, it's amazing.
Mutt went in and threw some ideas around, and that's what a good producer does.
It's amazing. It was never played live.
Really? I did not know that.
No, wow. They didn't play it live. There is a TV performance of them doing it, but they're lip syncing.
Yeah.
Now they did.
Yeah, that's that
live.
clip.
They did it live with Axl, with Axl Rose, and it's not that good. And
Axl wanted to do that one live.
The band doesn't sound good doing that song. I don't think that song can be replicated live.
It's got very big choruses in that song.
Yeah, and I just don't hear Brian singing it.
No.
Yeah.
I was watching today, I saw the Ball Breaker tour. And that night they played Down Payment Blues, which is, whoa, Down Payment Blues. It's probably my second favorite AC/DC song. But man, I walked out of that show, I was like, I didn't really see Down Payment Blues. Because Brian did not sing it well. Well, I found a pro shot today from them playing in VH1 Studios or something, doing Down Payment Blues, and yeah, man.
That's a good film. Yeah, that was I think that was in VH1 in Europe showed that, and yeah, it was really cool. I saw the first or second date of the Ball Breaker tour, and they were doing it. They dropped it later on in the set, but they were doing it, and I just remember when they played it, it was like me and a couple of friends were like, yeah, we're like rocking out. You could see people around us just like, what is this? This must be a song from the new album or something. They had no clue.
I think my favorite AC/DC song is "If You Want Blood."
I love that one too.
I love that song. I like that one a lot. I think it's one of my, at least one of my top favorites. It's hard to pick like a favorite AC/DC song, but that's one I always go to. And then you got Night Prowler, which ends this album. That's a really good.
That's another song that never was played live.
Yeah, so many good songs on this one, man.
It's another album that's like there really isn't any bad. The only song I kind of don't like is "Beating Around the Bush," maybe. But otherwise,
it's not favorite.
It's not terrible. I don't hate it, but out of all the other songs, that's probably my least one.
I love Get It Hot.
Yeah, Get It Hot's great. I used to not like Love Hungry Man, but I've grown to like that.
I like it a lot now, but that was the one clunker for me when I was a kid.
Yeah. It's got a cool the riff to it in the middle is really cool. That's really cool.
And I love the bass.
Yeah.
Cliff Williams is doing in that song is pretty badass.
Yep.
And you got Walk All Over You. Girls Got Rhythm. That's a really cool song.
Shot Down in Flames.
Down in Flames. Get It Hot.
Awesome album.
She told me to go to hell. I love that. Yeah, that was great. Shot Down in Flames.
My second favorite AC/DC album, right after Power Age, Highway to Hell, and very close to Let There Be Rock as well. Those are my top.
Mike says Get It Hot was played live 6 times only for the Stiff Upper Lip tour.
No, I'm talking Bond, man. I saw them do Get It Hot, and I guess it was that tour. I did see them do Get It Hot with Brian, but yeah, that shit don't count. They didn't do it with Bond. That's what I'm talking about, man. Yeah. It's just the way it is, bro. When they don't do it with Bond, it means they didn't play it live.
That's right.
That's what I think.
Tommy Boy says his favorite, second best AC/DC song is "Long Way to the Top." I love that song too. It is good.
Yeah.
Well,
I've been hooked on Riff Raff lately.
Long Way to the Top is so true. If you're a touring band, like when I used to tour with my band, everything in that song is true.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Except
we have
I had an extra bullshit. All the things that they say in that song, how you're getting ripped off, underpaid, all that shit. I had even an extra bullshit because I also had a band member that was ripping us off.
Really?
Going to the promoter, getting the money for the show, and then giving us like bullshit. I didn't actually get paid because I told the band, you all make the money for the shows. I make the money off the merch. After all, I buy the merch. So I let them have one of the members was ripping off everybody else. So yeah, it was a long way to the top if we want to rock and roll. It was, man, I can tell you some horror stories, man. Especially Colombia, driving the fucking mountains to the show, like a 6-hour drive going to mountains that my drummer literally got sick. He had to pull over because he got car sick. Putting up shit with shit like that was fucking.
Was that hard. Alex?
Huh?
Was that Alex that got sick?
No, Brian.
Brian, okay.
Who's was in Night Demon now.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah. That's a funny story because Alex was our drummer at the time, right? And we were booked to play Columbia. And then Alex got sick and he said, I ain't playing. We're not playing. And the promoter called me and he said, dude, talk to Alex. I'm going to lose a lot of money if you guys don't come, blah, 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 blah. I call Alex. Alex is like, fuck it, man. I don't give a fuck. Get Brian to play. I said, all right. So I called Brian. Brian, you want to do the show? Brian's like, yeah. And I call the promoter. Everything's good, bro. We'll be there. Next day, Alex calls me. What the fuck, man? Why the fuck you got Brian playing the game? I go, dude, you agreed to it yesterday. I was drunk. I was like, too late, dude. I don't give a fuck. You know, you agreed to it. And if you didn't agree to it, I would have never played the show. But we ended up headlining in front of 8,000 motherfuckers. So
Wow.
I'm glad I did it.
That's cool. Twisted Sister always played Long Way to the Top before they hit the stage.
Yeah,
Yep.
they
Ralph.
play the song.
Yeah, yeah.
And Metallica does too.
Metallica
You have a
used to
band,
play Thin Lizzy, though.
No,
They always change. They used to play Thin Lizzy, Boys Are Back in Town all the time.
I
Back
saw
in
them
the
coming
90s.
into
Who was that?
Metallica.
Oh, okay. We have a band from North Carolina called Nantucket, and they did a great cover on this album of Long Ways to the Top. And it's a 1980 album. They actually toured with AC/DC, so
they toured
kind
with
of did.
Kiss, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
You
I
said
know.
you saw
I
them with
heard the
Kiss,
name.
right?
Huh?
Didn't you say you saw them once with Kiss?
No, but I know they toured with Kiss.
Yeah.
He wants to know if we're familiar with the Dave Evans era of AC/DC. I think he only recorded one song with them, right? Or maybe two
And I
songs.
sit next to you girls, the only thing I've ever heard with him.
And he's still around playing music.
And he goes out and plays gigs as Dave Evans, the original voice of AC/DC. I mean, he's just, it's kind of like the guy in Judas Priest does the same. Al Atkins.
Al Atkins.
Yeah.
But he's actually not too bad. Al Atkins. He's all right.
No, Al's a good singer, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some of these guys, I mean, they just milk it, I guess.
Got nothing else to do, I guess. And actually, Al Atkins, he's re-releasing that album that he put out. I don't know if we talked about that. I think we did.
You know, I saw Al Atkins with Dennis Stratton together.
Really?
It was a metal festival in Tampa called Sun and Steel 2001 or something. And yeah, they had a all-star jam, and it was good. They did Victim of Changes. They did Transylvania. It was all right, man. It was all right.
Okay.
Cool.
Didn't AC/DC get into a fight with Deep Purple? I don't know.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, they did. I can't remember the full details. It was something to do with, I think Deep Purple canceled the show, and then they didn't cancel or something. And the Roadies and Bon Scott had a fight with the Deep Purple crew.
Huh.
Something like that. I know I probably got the story all wrong.
So this is like 76 or something.
Yeah, there was a beef with AC/DC and Deep Purple, yeah.
Would Rob Halford work in AC/DC for vocals?
No, wouldn't work.
What do you guys
try?
Yeah, he probably, yeah. What are your guys' thoughts on AC/DC's Stiff Upper Lip? I think it's too long of an album. It's not terrible, but it's too long.
It's not one of my favorites, but I like it more than Razor's Edge.
Yeah, it's a few good songs on it. It is quite long. That's what she said.
It's very long. Not long enough, is what she said. Anything else? All right. What else? What other anniversaries have we got?
Okay, what have I got next?
Raven, All for One.
Yeah, that came out. That was what, 41 years ago, wasn't it? Or was it? Yeah, probably. 41. Because oh yeah.
Udo would work with AC/DC. That would be a good pairing there.
Well, you know, Mark Tornello, who is currently singing for Accept, was actually in an AC/DC tribute band, cover band. That's what he was doing when he got the Accept gig.
Really? I didn't know that.
How about this one? This one's 40 years old. Condition Critical from Quiet Riot. I didn't even buy this when it first came out. I remember a bunch of buddies got it. I think I got a dub copy of it. But I was kind of burnt out on Quiet Riot by then. I mean, I love Metal Health, and I've grown to love it more in more recent years because I just got burnt out on Quiet Riot. I really did. But this album's actually got a few good songs on it. The Mama We're All Crazy Now. I mean, they had to do another Slade cover. That was kind of silly. And Mama's Boys cover of that smoked Quiet Riot's cover.
I agree.
Big time. Just so much more ballsy. But there were some good songs on this. I mean, I liked Sign of the Times. I thought that was a good opener. But side two, I mean, the song Condition Critical is like real heavy, kind of just, pounding drums.
I love it.
John Bonham like drums. Really cool. I mean, Scream and Shouts, like, total double bass drumming on that one.
That's my favorite song from the album, Scream and Shout.
Red Alert was good. Bad Boy. That was a good one. They even got a 12-inch single for Bad Boy. I think it came out in Europe. But yeah, I mean, there was a few good songs on this record. It was kind of like, they were pushing too much for it to be another Metal Health. I mean, of course, the record label wanted them to do that, but it just nowhere is as good as Metal Health. But there's some good tracks on it. It's not bad. It's way better than that third album. When the third album came out, I was like, God, I remember The Wild and the Young, which I don't mind that song so much now, but God, when it first came out, I was like, God, this song just sucks. When he had that, when they even had the little part in there where he's like, it's like you're scratching the record. Go. It's like so silly, man.
I never even heard it.
And the video was like had Wink Martindale in it. Remember that?
Oh yeah. No more rock and roll.
No more rock and roll. Yeah. Yeah.
I never even heard that. I heard Metal Health and didn't like it and never went back to listen to anything else. But I do have the Randy Rhoads albums.
The Randy Rhoads albums they're very, poppy.
They're completely different. They're not even
they're
what
they
they
were
sound like
doing
in
kind
albums.
they were kind of doing a power poppy
I didn't like
rock and roll stuff. I mean, it doesn't do much for me.
No.
There's a song here and there that's okay, but nah.
Eventually I'll listen to it. But I'm probably not gonna like that either.
I got Quiet Riot 2, the original one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Japan. I bought it in New York in 1996 for $30. $30 in 1996 was a lot of money.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was.
I remember seeing pirated copies of it at record shows where it would be like Quiet Riot and Randy Rhoads, and it'd be like a picture of a naked chick on the front, and you flip it over and it's a picture of Randy Rhoads playing guitar, and it was like Quiet Riot 2.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny back in the 90s when those import CDs cost like $30. And I was only like 12 or something back then, or maybe in my teens or whatever. And that's when I started getting to Halloween, and those first few albums, Pink Bubbles Go Ape and Chameleon, were only available through import at the time, and like trying to get my mother to buy them for me, it's like pulling teeth.
Oh yeah, all the Japanese CDs were $30.
Everything. And you used to get that. I don't know if you guys got it, but that order form is like a booklet, and it came with all the albums that they had for import. I can't remember what the hell that was called. Import something.
I used to buy from Metal Disc and from Wild Rags, and then the import stuff was always Impulse Records and Ram.
Ram was the one I dealt with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I ran a couple of credit cards up with those guys. That's for sure.
Yeah, because the Japanese CDs always had a bonus track.
Always.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They still do. It's pretty much still the only ones that always have well, sometimes they'll have like special editions, like like the Judas Priest or whatever. But most of the time, all the Japanese stuff always wants a bonus track. The only person that I can think of that really don't have bonus tracks is King Diamond. He never does bonus tracks.
Hey, he announced another tour with
He did. Well, the tour is called what the album is going to be called, apparently. So maybe the album will come out before this tour starts.
The last tour was the Insane Asylum.
I did that with a straight face.
Wayne just made funny.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. Whoops, wrong button.
Yeah.
Yeah, that last tour he did was the like the Insane Asylum thing or whatever the hell it was called.
I
And
saw that tour
yeah.
where he played a new song
Hmm.
that's like 5 years old now.
Yeah. What's it
That might be
called?
older than
Something
Masquerade.
Masquerade of Madness.
I have it. I have the vinyl when he released it.
Yeah. Great show. I mean, it was
Oh, amazing.
incredible. It's
Amazing.
amazing. So yeah, your old drummer Brian is going out on that tour too, because Night Demon's going out on the tour with them. So
That's
that should be
amazing, man.
good.
I'm proud
And
of Brian.
Overkill.
Are you
Okay.
Yeah,
guys gonna go to the
Overkill
show?
and Night Demon.
Are you guys
It's
What's
in
going?
that?
St. Petersburg, which is so fucking far from me, man.
Mm.
I'm
I don't know.
debating that it's
I don't know if
Maryland for me. So that's it's a 4 hour drive, but it's really a
Wow.
6 hour drive due to traffic.
Mine would be like an 8 hour drive. I mean, not
Damn.
including traffic. St. Petersburg is far as fuck. I went, oddly enough, I did go to St. Petersburg once to see Merciful Fate on the 9 tour.
Mm.
And yeah, if I'm going to St. Petersburg, if I end up going, I'm staying at a hotel. I ain't driving back.
That's a far ride. They're playing
Oh
about
yeah.
an hour away from me. And the last time I went to go see Merciful Fate at this place, I got a ticket for speeding through a school zone at 12 o'clock at night. So I don't know if I want to go back.
Kids go to school at 12 o'clock at night.
In New York, apparently, yes.
Okay.
It's some new rule. I have no idea. It's 24-hour. If you're speeding through a school zone, they give you a ticket.
Because Wayne can't drive 55.
Nope.
Yeah, they're playing in Silver Springs, Maryland is the closest for me, and that's where I saw Halloween at year before last, and that place was packed at Halloween. So I can imagine. I know it's going to sell out. It's going to be packed for King
Oh,
Diamond
I'm
as well.
sure. Actually, Lisa
Yeah.
Mann bought tickets to, I guess, wherever she's seen in Portland or somewhere, and it sold out when she went to go order tickets. And mine, the one for here, went on sale, and it hasn't sold out yet, but I'm sure it will pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm fine if I don't go. I mean,
I'm still on the fence. A friend of mine asked me if I wanted to go. I said, I don't know. I'll think about it.
Nah, man. If it comes down lower down here, I'll go for sure. But I'm not driving all the way.
That's a long drive.
All my friends down here are though. They're all going. I'm like, I'm good, man. I mean,
I don't like anything that much to drive. Take that long of a drive.
it's one thing that if I've never seen King before, then I do it.
Yeah.
But shit,
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen him like 12 times already, you know?
And you saw him at the best periods of his
True,
era there.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
now they're good. They're still good, but I don't know. I'm actually interested to see what he has like a backup vocalist, and I checked out some of her stuff, and she's apparently like some black metal artist or whatever, and she sounds pretty cool, but
that's
it'll be
his
interesting.
wife.
No, it's not his wife.
No,
It's
no, she's
somebody
not
else.
doing the tour.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's got a different person on
Yeah.
this tour.
Yeah,
is what
it's
you're saying.
another it's
Okay,
another
I
woman. It's a
thought you
woman.
meant in the past. Okay.
No. It's a whole thing, and he even announced that she's singing backups. So it's interesting,
Yeah,
right?
the wife made a post.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
didn't see it.
support, because she's gonna stay home with the kid, the school and all that shit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prince Diamond.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So another anniversary is Wayne
Y&T.
said he's never heard this.
No, I did.
Y&T's.
I reviewed that album
Yeah.
on my show. Yes.
Okay.
I just don't remember it
1984.
that
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. This was more of this is kind of what they're going into their more of their
Commercial.
some people would say their hair metal period or
Yeah.
whatever, but it's a good song. I mean, Masters of Slaves is on this. Is a great one. One of my favorite songs. I mean, Don't Stop Running. God, it's such a great song, especially when they play it live and they do that extra solo at the end. And Rock and Roll is going to Save the World. I remember seeing this concert on MTV, and it was them live from San Francisco Civic Center, and it came out on VHS as well. And they had this robot. They had this robot on stage. He came out. He was probably about like 8.5 feet, 9 feet tall or something. And he comes out. And he's like got the guitar and he shoots sparks out of the guitar. A lot of people don't know that the robot was played by John Nyman, who is the current guitar player in the band, because Dave Metachetti is the only original member still alive and that carries the name of the band. John Nyman's been the guitar player in the band now for 15 years or more, probably almost 20 years. And but John started out, he was the offstage keyboardist and backing vocalist, and then he'd have to put the robot costume on and come out as a robot as well. So yeah, that was kind of, they had to have their everybody had a mascot. So telling what that thing cost them. I think they tell in the documentary how much they spent on making that. You know, they were pushing for them to go into that next level. You know, they were on A&M Records, which wasn't a big label for metal and hard rock, I guess, at the time. There's a single for "Don't Stop Running" and another single from that album, "Lipstick and Leather," and that's a total hair metal song. But pretty cool. I mean, they had an edge to them, though. I mean, Dave's just a great singer. I always kind of thought he had a very, you know, robust voice, a little more like a Bob Seger type singer. You know, not quite as smoky.
More of a rough singer. Somebody in the chat here, I like Y&T better than Twisted Sister during that tour.
I saw that tour. It was Twisted Sister, Y&T, and Dokken.
Wow,
that's
tour. Awesome.
They didn't bring out the robot though.
Did you think Twisted Sister wasn't as good as Y&T?
I thought Twisted Sister was better.
Yeah,
you caught him on an off night.
Yeah, I never heard.
Yeah, I saw something where Ron Quintana from follow him on Facebook. He had posted something about when they played Y&T played the Day on the Green Festival during that period with Metallica and several other bands were on the bill. I think Yngwie and stuff. And he's talking about, I know a lot of people, especially the Bay Area thrashers and all, they looked up to Y&T because Y&T was one of the big bands from there to start out, you know. And they were like, you know, I guess they felt like they were selling out because they were kind of, you know, going more in the glam route with the outfits and stuff, you know. And Y&T won a bunch of pretty boys. I mean, Leonard Hayes, you could put all the makeup on him you wanted. He was not going to be Tommy Lee's. This wasn't going to happen, you know. But God, man, Leonard Hayes, such a great drummer, man. That dude's fucking right foot, dude. God, I mean, he sounds like he's doing double bass, and he didn't have a double bass. He did it all with his foot. Amazing drummer.
Amazing documentary.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Got that documentary, fucking badass. It's long. And it brings another DVD with more extra bonus shit.
Yeah, that's the way you want it, man. You want it to go into so many documentaries come out, especially when they have to make them and they have to edit them down to 2 hours for, you know, VH1 or something back in the day. You leave out, they just skip so much, you know, of their history. And that Y&T is very in depth. It's a lot like the We Are Twisted Fucking Sister documentary. You know, that was the whole first over hour long of that doc is all the early years before they even came out with Under the Blade, you know. Yeah. Talks about their club days and
they stuff. Never even went to the other albums either after Stay Hungry, which I was kind of
upset. It's like, was there going to be a part 2, you know? Yeah. But there's
never did it.
Well, the guy that made that documentary died.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
But man, I would love to have a Twisted Sister documentary. Start with Under the Blade. And I want to hear all about Come Out and Play and Love Is for Suckers and how they went bankrupt.
Yeah. That's the stuff I want to know.
There's some footage of the Come Out and Play tour. Just like one camera, you know, it's kind of surfaced over I think it might be on YouTube. But yeah, they had a massive stage show for that tour.
Yeah, I have a real bad copy of it on VHS from Detroit. It was a Detroit show, but yeah, you can make it out. D comes out, you know, with the
sewer lid, the manhole, yeah.
And he plays guitar during the show, and he takes people from all the way to the top to the stage. It was a fun show, man. But
Mitch Wooten says, "Rip Mick Underwood from Gillan." Yeah, speaking of drummers and Leonard Hayes. Leonard Hayes actually played in Ian Gillan's band, but Mick Underwood was Ian Gillan's drummer for a long time. Yep.
Yep. Y&T rules. I saw Y&T I saw him this year. Or no, maybe it was last year. Still fucking amazing.
Yeah, just a great man. I saw him at M3 this year. They were actually coming through they were doing the East Coast runs after the Monsters of Rock cruise every year. They do a roll up the East Coast, and they were always stopping in Raleigh, and so I was getting to see them on a regular basis, you know. But I only saw I think I saw them the first time I ever saw them was probably like 2004 or five. They played at Jack's in Virginia, and they still had all original members except Joey Alves wasn't touring with them. They had Steph Burns with them at that period.
Wow.
And yeah, but then I saw them a couple of times up there, but then of course, like, you know, the guys started getting sick and passing away, you know.
All of them.
Dave's sole survivor and keeping it going. Yeah. And saw him at M3 this past year, and you know, he's been going through he had prostate cancer, so he was but he was on his toes, man, at M3. He did an excellent set. Sounded great.
Well, I found the video 5 years ago. I reviewed that Y&T album, and we put it against Lita Ford. What's the album cover with her, like with a spider's web behind her?
Out for Blood.
Yeah. So we did those two albums versus each other. So go ahead.
Well, the
go to
Y&T record's
review.
a lot better.
It is. I think I remember.
Out for Blood's okay, but shit, that second Lita Ford album, was it Dancing on the Edge? God, that's a kick-ass record, man.
I can't stand her lyrics. It's just it's
Go
terrible.
listen to Dancing on the Edge. It's such a good record, man. It's just then after that, just
I can't. I
downhill.
Can't. But if anybody wants to go see my thoughts on that Y&T album from like 5 years ago, go check that out. Rest in peace, Mick Underwood from Gillen.
Yep, that's what I was just saying. Yep.
Sorry, I was too busy.
Well, we can move on to how about some old Pantera? Their second album turns 40 this past week. Products in the Jungle, one of the greatest album covers ever. Yeah.
That's an original?
Yeah. I've got two copies of the original. One's got a yellow label and one's got a black label.
All right, cool.
Yeah, but I don't.
How'd you get the original? Did you get it like when it first came out, or you got that later on?
Actually, a friend of mine gifted me a bunch of records, probably around 87 or something, and because she was moving, and it was in there. It was one of the albums that was in it, and first time I'd ever heard of Pantera, you know. But when I listened to it, I recognized the song "Like Fire." I had heard it on the college radio the metal show before, but I wasn't sure, you know, who did the song. But yeah, I dug it. I thought it was cool. I thought the album cover was cheesy as crap, but I love the songs. The song is just good heavy metal, straight up heavy metal.
I love that album.
Very much Def Leppard influenced. Pyromania, you know, was big at the time, and Terry Glaze, the singer, he sounds a lot like Joe Elliott on here. But man, I mean, Dimebag's only 17 years old when they recorded this record, and he is shred. I mean, he is such a killer player. And
he wasn't Dimebag back then. He was Diamond Daryl.
He was Diamond Daryl Lance.
He wasn't into the drugs yet.
Maybe not. Who knows? But this record's got really good production on it. I mean, their dad owned a recording studio, so they had a chance. I mean, they claim, you know, they say these albums are demos. I mean, but they're like damn good sounding demos, you know. But they put them out on their own label. They had Metal Magic Records. This has got the order form where you can order the T-shirts and different things out of it. But yeah, this is like I said, this is the first one I ever got. And a buddy of mine, I went over to his house around the same time, and he had the next one. He had I'm the Night. And so, you know, I ended up recording that from him, and you know, we were fans of it. You know, it's another obscure metal band that I was into. And then like I was in a store one day and they were I was looking through the tapes or whatever, and I saw Power Metal. So I ended up buying Power Metal. I was like, oh, they changed singers. So I dug that, and that was a new record. It was 1988, I think, maybe a year later or so. Found that, loved it, and just, of course, you know, they went on to bigger and better things. You know, it's like I remember getting Cowboys from Hell and popping it in. I had it on cassette, popped it in. It was like, wow, you know, this doesn't even sound like the same band, you know, but it was cool, you know. But yeah, I mean, everybody starts somewhere, and these guys started out. I mean, just traditional, straight up hard rock, heavy metal,
Glam Terra.
and yeah, and that's what I was saying on my Facebook post today. They were never really a glam band. I mean,
They
that's
look
what
like it
people
though.
look like.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
people look. I mean, especially this one. They just look like a rock and roll band. I mean, they're not all
You don't have too
but it's
much
not a
makeup
bunch of
on
oops, I
them.
just dropped my record. Well, there
Oh,
goes
real
a
nice. There goes the.
$300 record flew out. But no, it's fine. But it's yeah, I mean, they're not all like they don't look like Poison or something here.
No.
Vinnie Paul's probably got on more gear than anybody. But then the next one, they were a little more prissier. But I remember seeing pictures when Phil joined the band. Phil was the most glam looking band guy in the whole band. When you see those early photos, I mean, they pretty much looked like this. And he was standing there with like frosted hair all teased up, like a Mack truck went by him doing 80 or something, Yeah.
The they released all the bootlegs for those like on CD and stuff like that, and the CD bootlegs now, because back in the day they were kind of shitty, but now they're like very professional looking. Because I have them, I have all four of them, and they look really really good. Because I have a shitty
They did
version
a good
of power
job on them.
metal.
Yeah.
I have a shitty version of power metal. Then when I bought all the newer ones, it looks way better. It looks more original. Power metal is with Phil. Yes, power metal is with Phil.
Yep.
Yes, you got to check out all those early Pantera albums. You won't even recognize their Pantera.
I love all
strange.
the records. I love the early shit. I love the later shit.
I wish they would just like re-release those like officially. Stop worrying about your past and because of the way it sounded. And I
Well, it's
Oh
know,
too
yeah,
late
and
now.
yeah,
we always heard they would never reform. It's never going to happen. Of course, after Vinny died, Miss Rita decided to pull the guys together and go do a tour. So maybe Miss Rita will want to put a box set out one day, and they'll
and
put
they
all
keep
their early
saying they
stuff
won't.
out.
Keep saying they won't be, but we'll see. I guess, right? Money's going to
And
buy
then we'll see.
anything.
It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's not like
It's
that.
not.
They were like horrible or anything.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's
I
just
think
I
it's
the
just
thought
people
different.
that did like the heavier Pantera will not like that at all.
Yeah.
where I like to have
Well,
Pantera.
Yeah.
I actually got a message from Terry Glaze the other day on Facebook where he said, "Thanks for sharing the record." Thought that was pretty cool.
Right?
All right. Cool.
They I still think that he could go to Europe and tour with a band and call it Metal Magic. He could play like the Keep It True Fest. They would just eat out of the palm of his hand at that show because it's this whole younger generation now that loves this stuff. They love the old Pantera stuff.
I love Lord Tracy.
Yeah, I saw Lord Tracy, and actually, I met Terry Glaze, and I saw Lord Tracy open for Ace Frehley on the Trouble Walking tour, and we got there early, hoping to maybe see Ace going to soundcheck, and we ended up meeting the Lord Tracy guys and hanging out with them that afternoon a little bit, and that's before Cowboys from Hell came out, so I had no clue that was Terry from Pantera. I would have been like going, "Hey man, I listen to Pantera and stuff," but like I said, I had no clue. I didn't find out about it until several years later when I saw this magazine article about Pantera and the success they were having. And it's just something about their original singer was the front it left to join Lord Tracy. And, between him and Phil, there was another guy. And he
Sammy Hagar.
actually, yeah, it was Sammy Hagar. Yeah. Yeah, there was another guy that was in place of him, and that took Terry Glaze's place for a while. And his name's Matt, and he actually fronts this Led Zeppelin band called Zoso. That's been around, a tribute band. They've been around for 25 years, doing Led Zeppelin tribute. They're really really good. And Matt was the singer for like a year before they got filled.
Who
Yeah,
knows what it would have been?
My band Thrash or Die, we covered a Lord Tracy song.
Piranha.
Yeah, Piranha. Because
Yeah.
that album is so eclectic. There's thrash, there's hard rock, there's country, it just has a million flavors on that album, and I think all the songs are great.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines ever is there's a song on the album called Submission, and the line is, "When I close my eyes, I can't see anything at all." I just love that line. It's so stupid. It's great.
I've seen this question get asked a few times in here from the same person. He wants to know what is the best concert that we've ever seen in our entire lives. He wants to know about me and you, Tony, but you can answer this too. What's your name again? Ralph, right? Ralph. Yeah, it's your show, so you can answer too.
All right, I'm gonna say one that pales both your favorite shows.
I'm sure it does.
There's no band, no concert can come close to the Fair Warning show I saw Van Halen. I have not seen a band that got a band an audience so excited than Van Halen did. There was just a magic to that band in the 80s that just can't be replicated. I can't, it's just, there's no way I can say in words how amazing the Fair Warning tour was. And I'll tell you, I saw the tour before that, Women and Children First, second row. It was the greatest show I saw up to that point.
Wow.
Fair Warning, I was in the nosebleeds, and it was a better show. It was the greatest show I ever saw in my life, man. So yeah, that's it. Van Halen, 1981 at the Sportatorium Fair Warning tour was the greatest show ever.
Very cool. What about you, Tony?
I've seen so many shows, it's hard for me to like pinpoint. You know, my first Van Halen show was 1984 tour, and as much as I was happy to be seeing Van Halen, it was noisy. It was like overpacked. It sounded like crap. The audio, and but it was cool to see them. But I just remember it just not sounding good. But I actually enjoyed the show better when I saw the reunion tour. And was it 07, 08 that they did the first reunion with Roth? I mean, that one I had good seats and the sound was great. And it's just, I think I really enjoyed it more because it was like, that was kind of one of those things you thought, okay, this is never going to happen. And even though Michael Anthony wasn't there, it was a good show. But
David Lee Roth really sounded good on that tour.
He did. I mean, my ex-wife was like she's very finicky over stuff. And she went just to be going. And she walked out there going, wow, that was awesome. But yeah, it's one of my favorite shows ever that just like brought chill. I mean, make the hair stand up on your arm was a club show, was UFO with Michael Schenker, 1995, and they played at Jack's. It's the first time I ever been to Jack's, and I mean, it was just like Strangers in the Night. They, will you please welcome from London, UFO. And they busted right into Natural Thing, just like what we had heard on Strangers in the Night for ages. And, and I was just like, wow. I just remember the place was packed and everybody was just bouncing up and down, just with the music because everybody was just packed in there so tight. And it's just one of those things I thought I'd never see. And it was just amazing. Great show. And that was when Schenker was doing really well there for a while. He was happy to be there and stuff. And I mean, they all looked like they were having such a good time up there doing it.
All right, cool, very cool. Mine is going to be, well, I have two. The first concert I ever went to was the Iron Maiden Ed Hunter tour when Bruce Dickinson came back. And they played at Hammerstein Ballroom. They were just playing every single song that I, loved. So it was just an awesome show. The place was packed. The place ain't that huge, so wherever you were sitting, you saw everything. So that's like one of my favorites. And my other favorite would be a band. It's a pop band from where the hell are they from? England, and they're a band called Pulp. They've been around since like the early '90s or whatever.
Yeah, I'm familiar with them.
Very cool show. It was a reunion show, and they played at Radio City Music Hall, and a very cool venue. I've never been there before, and they just played every single song that I liked, and the singer was like spot on with everything. The music was spot on. Everything you heard it the way you heard it on the albums, you heard it them play it live that way, and even some of the things that they added in, it was just an awesome show. Not one bad song that they played that night. A lot of energy with that band too, so it was good, very good show.
I gotta throw in Creature of the Night.
I would love to see that. Yeah,
that was one of my favorite shows, and Merciful Fate in the Shadows.
I saw that one. I saw that one in a crowded club, just a sweat box, basically. it still was cool to see. You know, it's like, wow, it's freaking Merciful Fate. You know,
And I gotta tell
yeah,
you, man, one of my top 10 shows ever, Last in Line. Um, I saw the last show with Jimmy Bain because Jimmy Bain died 2 days after that.
wow,
Man, I remember watching that show, leaving there going, that was one of the greatest shows I ever seen in my life. You know,
yeah.
Jimmy Bain did look like death, though. The guy had lung cancer, he didn't know it.
Mm.
Crazy, right? But yeah, those four shows they're up there, man. My favorite shows ever, you know.
The first time seeing Kiss with makeup for me was the reunion tour in '96, and that stands out. That was a great show. I mean, we had great seats for that. Um, just
Mine sucked.
yeah,
I was very disappointed. My first
I
time I saw Kiss, and it was terrible.
I saw them 2 days in a row, so it was like it's amazing. I mean, it's just something I thought I'd never see, and they sounded great. They were all doing their giving their best at that period, so they
I
hadn't
saw
got
I,
tired and lazy.
I saw three of the four shows at Madison Square Garden. My friend Eve got us her boss owned skybox seats at Madison Square Garden. So I'm talking, dude, the whole 9 yards. We get there, there's liquor, there's food, and then there's a guy that walks us down to our seats. We were treated like royalty, you know. I could have gone all 4 days, but one of the days was her birthday, and she wanted to, you know, have a party at a bar and shit. So I missed one of the three, but I saw the first, second, and fourth show. And then I saw it in Miami. I saw the reunion.
And that was during your drinking periods. I'm surprised you didn't get hammered on all the free alcohol. And you was like, I don't remember.
No, yeah, no. I got hammered, but I remember. A lot of shows I get hammered. It's weird. I have the worst memory yet. I can tell you every set list of every band I saw in the 80s, not in order, but I can tell you what they played.
Wow. That's a good memory.
Yeah, that's a good memory to have. You know, that's why I remember, Ball Breaker Tour, they did Down Payment Blues. You know, I remember certain things. Blow Up Your Video, they did High Voltage the first time. And so
I can remember little things, but I can go see a show tonight and couldn't tell you what they play tomorrow in some cases, you know. But
I wish I would have got to see shows in the 80s, but my parents would never let me go to a concert. They would never take me. They would never go to one. Because the reason why is because my mother was going to go to a concert. And then the one concert she was going to go to, she ended up not going. They ended up having it was that one where they had like a bomb went off inside the stadium. I don't remember where it was, but it's somewhere. But she was there, ever since she heard about that, she's like, you never going to a concert. I'm like, whatever.
I know it happened in England, but I don't think it was a concert.
It was some kind of bomb or something happened. Something happened at the show that she was going to go to, and she was just like, I'm never going to go to a concert ever. And it scarred me for life. And I didn't get to go to a concert until when was that Iron Maiden? Like 2000 or 99. I think it was 99. Yeah.
No, when Bruce came back, it was 2000.
Was it 2000? All right, 2000. Fine.
yeah, that was Brave New World. Was it? Yeah, Brave New World tour.
Brave New World was
2000.
2000, and
But
then
they
the other
did
one
Ed
came out in
Hunter
99.
before that.
Yeah, so that was 99.
Ed Hunter tour was right before it. Yeah, yeah. Well, speaking of Kiss, I can lead into the last of the anniversary albums. This actually comes out 40 years ago. Tomorrow will be 40 years for this one. The first Black and Blue with Ace Frehley. I mean, not Ace Frehley, Tommy Thayer on guitar. Fake Frehley. They covered him up. The Obi strip is covering up Fake Frehley here. But
I love that.
This is such a great record. And this is another band that kind of falls into the hair band category, but this is like a good rock and roll record here. I mean, it's nothing wimpy about it. It was they started going a little more glammy as they went on, but this record was produced by Dieter Dierks in Germany at his studios. Los Angeles based band, just really, really cool band. Jamie St. James was the lead singer. Had the Dee Snider hair. I remember seeing the video for Hold On to 18, which there's a single for that. Hold On to 18 was the first song that I remember seeing the video on MTV, and great song. And I went out and bought the cassette, loved it. Great songs on here: Auto Blast, School of Hard Knocks. They got a song called Wicked Bitch on here. It's really cool.
Did you say
Uh,
anal blast or
Auto Blast.
oh okay.
No,
I'm
not
glad
Anal
you
Blast. That's not on this one.
that's a
Maybe one of the later
different
ones.
album.
Yeah, different album. Yeah. I'm the King.
Chains Around Heaven's my favorite album.
Chains Around Heaven. Yeah, that song was on the original Metal
Metal
Massacre or
Massacre,
the
yeah.
yeah, the second pressing or whatever.
I think
But
that's an awesome album. That first Black and Blue is badass. And I
if
remember
you're not
back in
familiar with this,
I remember
so
back in the
I've
day,
seen it. I
a
never
lot
listened
of
to it.
people would say Jamie St. James, like Dee Snyder, the drummer in that video, Hold On to 18, looked like Tommy Lee, and Tommy Thayer looked like Steve Clark at that time.
yeah, uh, I met John Kalodner one time, who was the A&R guy who worked with Geffen Records, which this was on. And actually, we were just talking, and I said, "Yeah, man, loved a lot of the bands you worked with, Black and Blue." And he just goes like, "Black and Blue, I had such big hopes for those guys." He said that if he had just held, I don't know exactly what he means, but he said if I had held them back a year, they'd have been bigger than Bon Jovi, whatever
Wow.
that means. I mean, this is 1984. If he'd held them back a year, it'd have been 85. I don't think it would have made that much difference, really. But their second album comes out, and they went out on tour with Kiss. I saw them open for Kiss on the Asylum tour, and Black and Blue had their second album out during that period. And then the next two albums that they did, their third and fourth album, which was like their final album, Gene Simmons produced those albums. And one of the albums, I think it's the third album was Nasty Nasty, right off that hat. The song Nasty Nasty is basically the riff to Spit
Yeah.
that Kiss did on the Revenge album.
Yep. You're
So
right.
that's why Tommy Thayer had a co-writing credit on Spit. But yeah, the other three albums are okay. I like them, but they're nowhere as good as this. This is just light years better. Just a great hard rock record.
Yep. I get laughed at a lot for liking that album from the Kiss
Yep.
Club. Oh, Tommy
Well,
Thayer's on it. It's not good. I don't even want to listen to it because I know it's not good.
wow. Well,
And I saw Black and Blue back then with Yngwie Malmsteen and Lita Ford. So I got to see him once.
on that tour?
No, it was, I think, in Heat.
Okay.
Heat. They only played Hold On to 18 and School of Hard Knocks from that album, which was this.
Yeah, I waited years to see him. I saw a version sometime in, I think, around about 2003, maybe. Jamie had a new version of Black and Blue, and they played with somebody. They played up at Jack's in Virginia. They opened up for somebody. I can't, maybe LA Guns or something. But it was just Jamie and a new band. And then I met Pete Holmes, the drummer. He was playing with Michael Schenker once. I think he did a couple of tours with Michael. And then I saw Black and Blue a couple of times at M3 when they reunited, when it was pretty much everybody except Tommy Thayer. They had a different guitarist, replacing him.
Someone in the chat, they just watched the Tough Luck documentary, and your friend Ruben is in it. Ralph.
Yeah.
Ruben. We got to get
Uh,
Ruben on the show sometime, man.
Yeah, he's a hard guy to get in touch with at night. I think he turns into a vampire or something. I don't know where he is at night. I always hear from him in the day. And I don't know if he's computer savvy. So I don't think that'll work out. I'll ask him though,
Yeah.
He's a character.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What
Yeah,
else we
that
got?
Tough Luck documentary is pretty good. It was a pretty good doc on that. I wasn't that familiar with that band. I had that one album and that was it, but I didn't realize they had done so much, and then they changed and became another band.
Yeah, or they changed the sound of the band.
Well, they kind of went all kind of alternative,
Yeah,
hard
they try
rock,
to fit into
grungy stuff. Yeah.
which to me, man, it's
Tough Luck's not a very grungy sounding name. Well, it is kind of if you think about it, but it sounds kind of hair band.
but they were huge down here. I mean, I saw him headline the Cameo Theater with
Glory.
Crimson Glory opening for him.
Wow.
And that's when Crimson Glory wore the half masks with the Amazing Midnight on vocals. I saw them open for Tough Luck. That's how big Tough Luck was down here.
Wow.
We had high hopes for them because that album has some real catchy songs like Up and Down, Tonight.
Yeah. But it came out on did it come out on New Renaissance Records or something originally?
Yeah.
So that was a deal killer there because that happened to a lot. I know several bands that were on. That was Ann Boleyn's label, from Hellion.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was her label. I known several, groups that were on that label, and it seemed like they didn't get any tour support or anything like that. So it's really hard at that period to go out and do anything. But if they had gotten signed, if they had been on like one of the majors, they probably would have done. Even if they were on something like Enigma, they would have done better.
Oh yeah,
I think.
Yeah, they had every element to be big in the '80s. Every element in their song. Sleaze If You Please. Just great shit, man. And there's a lot. I have folders and folders in my computer of unreleased songs that are badass that they did from back then, like Snake Eyes. Very heavy.
I wonder why they won't put a box set out with all that stuff in it.
It'd be nice, man, but
because they got a lot of publicity out of that documentary. A lot of people know about them now that just discovered them through that.
Yeah, and Dave Scott is still playing, but he's playing like blues stuff now. Amazing guitar player. Unbelievable guitar player, actually. So yeah.
He should do it. He should put some stuff out. There's people that would buy it, I'm sure. Yeah.
Apparently, Ample Destruction was released 1984.
Jack Panzer.
In August of '84. Yep. Sure was.
Great album.
That's
my friend.
How many have you guys ever seen? How many different album covers has it been for that album?
There is one of the re-releases that they just put out.
Yeah.
It shows all the different album covers on there, and I think there's 10 of them. I think there's 10 different ones.
There's one where it's this chick on the cover.
Yeah.
That Jag Panzer re-released the album with that cover.
Yeah.
It was actually Jag Panzer took a bootleg and put it, and my good friend Jackson Rowding from Canada sent it to me.
I think High Roller or somebody reissued it with that.
Yeah, it was on High Roller, but with that bootleg cover with the chick.
Yeah, they re-released all of the covers.
So today I watched while I was at work. I pulled up on the Wacken. The fest is going on right now, and I pulled up the live feed that was going on, which it was the evening time there, of course, so it was running during the day. But I saw Axel Rudy Pell, and I watched KK's Priest set, Accept, and Scorpions.
Cool.
And everybody played great sets, man. It's great. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Did either one of you guys ever been to Wacken?
No.
It's just what is it? Now, I've never been to Europe, but I was like, I used to always want to go to like Wacken, but I'd have to be 20 years younger to handle it now. It's just,
there's no way.
I'd rather go somewhere like Keep It True or something that's indoors and has places to sit down, because I just don't think I'd want to stand out in the open field with, what is it, 100,000 people out there or something, man? It's just
too many people. It's too hot. I just see the pictures and the video of
that. Too much mud. You gotta bust out your rubber boots.
Because in Germany they outlawed roll-on. They outlawed deodorant.
Really?
Yeah, you're not allowed to use deodorant in Germany.
Really? When was this?
Why is that?
They just passed a law 2 days ago.
Seriously?
Is that due to the magnesium that's in it or something?
No. Everybody's allowed to use roll-on. But when Wacken comes to town, that's when they outlaw it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were serious.
When am I ever serious?
I knew where he was going, but I wasn't sure. He kept a straight face with that
I
one.
thought that was only in France.
We can't talk about France on this show. Not today. We'll wait a couple months.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to my friend Wilson in Chicago. Wilson, Chicago, you rule, my brother.
Wilson.
Love them.
He's
and
in
all the
Chi-town.
people out there, they've been donating. I got all your donations coming. They're coming. Joseph Manella, Dennis Turney Jr., all you guys.
Catman wants to talk about the. Sorry, I didn't mean to distract. Just go over you there, but Catman wants to talk about King Diamond.
What about
what about?
He just wants to talk about King Diamond. I don't know.
I love King Diamond. Merciful Fate's my favorite.
We were just
band.
talking about him. He's touring.
Yeah. I think he means like come on the show and talk about King Diamond.
You know what he needs to do? Go look at Rap Salad Reviews, where we review every Merciful Fate and King Diamond album.
That's right. And then have special guests on too. So a lot of really cool interviews during that whole entire thing.
Go over the Rap
Because
Salad.
you had Matt, didn't you?
Yeah, I had Matt. That was a good one. I had Matt Snowy Shore. We even went all the way back to the early days with Black Rose and had the keyboard player Ib Enemark, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Pete Black was on the show.
Kim Ruz.
Kim Ruz was on the show. How could I forget that? Oh my God, the guitar player for Merciful Fate.
Andy Log.
No, not Andy.
Oh, Michael Denner.
Michael Denner. I couldn't remember his name. Yeah, I'm trying to get Andy, but he just never reads my messages. But another podcast I talk to once in a while, they've had him on, so he does at some point look at his messages. So maybe I'll get him. Then we had that girl on, the new bass player from Merciful Fate, Becky Baldwin. She was on the show. So many guests. Just go on Red View and look it up. But there's a lot of stuff on there.
Wayne, did you ever hear this album, Manta Ray?
I've heard of it. I've never heard it.
Yeah, it's got King Diamond alumni David Harbour and John Luke Herbert is the rhythm section. Okay. They also would put Chastain as well.
Oh, that's who else was on the show. John Herbert was on the show. Not John Herbert, David Harbour was on the show. Very cool guy, by the way.
My friend Mike from here in North Carolina was the guitar player in this band.
Very cool.
Yeah, pretty good stuff, man. This was a reissue from Dive Bomb Records probably about 10 years ago.
I wonder if they still have any. I'll have to grab one.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. I'm sure he's got it.
I got this today. There's a band called
Zeke.
Yeah, they're like hardcore, punk hardcore. They're like Motorhead on steroids. That's the best way.
They toured with Motorhead and COC once.
Did they? I saw
years ago.
I saw them many years ago. And I bought their shirt, and then somebody donated for me to put Zeke against some other band, and I was like, "Oh my God, Zeke!" You know. And this is the album, and I listened to it. I was like, "I need to buy this." Yeah, so I got this. I got this week.
They got a bunch of albums out.
Yeah, they've been around a long time because I saw them in the early 2000s. That's how I got turned on to them. Opening for it had to be a death metal band, had to be, because that's all that was happening at the Culture at the time was death metal. So either they were opening for Morbid Angel or Cannibal or somebody, the Chasm, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah, I got that, and I got that as well.
Did you get the record one?
Yeah, let me grab it.
I got the Target exclusive version. And I didn't realize this, but they took a couple songs off of here from the soundtrack because they just didn't fit. I guess the soundtrack was too long.
What is it? Oh, that's the Ghost movie.
Yeah, it's the Ghost Right Here, Right Now soundtrack. So that's pretty cool. And then on the back, I don't know if anybody realized, but they copied the Kiss Alive. I think it's Kiss Alive 2, right?
Yeah, the layout looks just like Kiss Alive 1, actually.
And do you know?
Your audio's out, Wayne. We can't hear you.
Your audio was cracking up there for a second.
You hear me, Tony?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Am I back? Am I back?
Yeah, you're back now. Yeah.
My interface is all fucked up. But the reason why they did that is because they played this show where Kiss played Alive 2. So.
Yeah, that's cool the way they did that layout. They should have got two Ghost fans to hold up a drawing of Ghost to make it look like the back of Kiss Alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have made it even better.
I
Yeah.
get to open this.
Do you have this, Tony?
What's that?
Yes. That's one of the EPs from
Pick on.
Hellbent for Leather.
I
Man, Ralph,
got
that photo you shared today, I actually copied it and sent it to a couple of friends of the News of the World
oh,
Kiss
yeah.
takeoff. It's like Queen News of the World
Yeah.
album cover, but it's Kiss
That's
in
the
the
kiss. Yeah.
hand. Yeah, that's that thing that Stewie Griffin's terrified of.
Yeah.
The News of the World monster.
Yeah, I was turned on to that by somebody said, look at this. Look at Stewie freaking out on the album cover.
Yeah.
This I'm disappointed in. I'm not.
Yeah, you were saying, man,
I listened to a couple of those songs.
I was expecting more for it. I listened to it as well. I was like,
It's very new metal sounding.
I held this up last on CD. I had to return them all because I ordered it on vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
The first Runaways, Queens of Noise,
Mm-hmm.
and Waiting for the Night, which is the only 3 albums they really. Oh no, they have a 4th one that I do have.
They have a self-titled one called Runaways.
Yeah, that one I have. I bought it when it was a record store day exclusive.
Mm-hmm. I actually like those later albums, man. They're really good.
Oh, I love them. And this so far is my favorite album this year. With Severed Angel, by the way. Deep Purple.
That new Deep Purple is excellent, man. It really is. I need to buy a physical copy of it. I've been listening to it a lot.
Yeah, it's fucking.
We've been playing it at work a lot. It's just a great record. I think it's the best Deep Purple album in ages, man. It's just so good.
I gotta check it out.
I didn't get any new record. I got some stuff on the way from Gary Schaefer. Maybe I'll show it next week. But
He's holding a lot of stuff for me.
I did go to a concert this past week. I saw Anvil last week, and then I saw Kerry King's new band the other night. I went to see Mastodon and Lamb of God, and got to see Kerry King's band. And there was a band called Malevolence, kind of hardcore band. They were pretty good. Kerry King's band was really good. Phil Dimmel, Paul Bostoff, of course, Mark from Death Angel on vocals, and Kerry, and bass player is
Jack Gibson. No, not Jack Gibson.
He was in Hell Yeah, I think. It's I can't think of the guy's name. He was somebody out there might know who it is. It might be the guy in it's the Troy Saunders' brother from Mastodon. I think it's his brother, maybe, is the bass player. But man, Kerry's band was good, man. They played a bunch of stuff from that new record, which I think is really good. Reminds me of Slayer. And Mark did an excellent job on vocals, and they ended with Rain and Blood and Black Magic from the first Slayer record.
Right on.
So that was really cool. I'm not into Mastodon's music at all. They just don't do anything for me. But their visual, their stage set was cool. And man, Lamb of God, man, I'm not a big Lamb of God fan either. But God, man, such a high energy show, man. God, they were just so good live, man. Good show.
Right on. All right, guys. So we pretty much summed it up, huh?
I think so. Yep. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more, but how many more hours can we do this?
Leave it in the comments below what we missed.
That's right. Just like we did with the dead people. That reminds me. When we did that dead episode, you were talking about Mel Gibson, not Gibson, Mel
Sharples.
No. The Mel I can't think of his last name now. Crap.
Torme.
No, not Mel Torme. The one that was on Spaceballs.
Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks. Yes. I couldn't think of who the hell Mel Brooks was. I was getting him confused with Mel Gibson. And yes, I do like Mel Brooks. So just to clear that up.
Yeah, everybody.
Mel Brooks is great.
Look at the comments to that video. Everybody.
Yes, I did. I was reading comments.
The comments were, "Dude, you need to watch Blading Saddles."
Yeah. I have to watch that.
It's a worth it.
It's great, man.
Hopefully next week we may have a guest, right?
We definitely do have a guest next week. Let's just tell everybody who it is. Go ahead. All right. Michael Gilbert from the band Flotsam and Jetsam.
Original member of the band.
Yes, he will be here next week. So everybody make sure you're here at 8 p.m.
Mikey G.
Yeah,
right here.
tune in next week because I'm going to bring up to Michael Gilbert. I'm going to say, hey, remember me? I came up to you after the show and I asked you to sign my record, and then I took a picture of you with me. You remember that?
I'm sure that's never happened to him before, ever.
You remember that experience? I think I was with you. I mean, maybe a minute and a half the most. Remember that? Wasn't that cool?
He was a guy in the black t. I was wearing a black t-shirt.
Yeah. Remember I was wearing a black shirt?
He's actually friends with. I think he's one of. I think he's one of the members. That's a friend of some guy on my route that I delivered to. So I'll have to ask him about that. And then the day before, on that Wednesday, we have Kent Mary on Rat Salad Review, and I think if you guys want to join me, you're more than welcome to join us.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. That dude's he's played with everyone.
Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean Chastain. Good Lord, I mean who else? I mean TKO. I remember seeing Flotsam a few years ago, and there was a guy getting some autographs from Ken after the show, and he had like this whole stack of CDs, and it was like just all these groups that Ken had played in. It was crazy.
Yeah, he's a really good drummer. I was really shocked to see him with Flotsam and Jetsam because I don't know if he's ever did anything that heavy before. I don't know everything that he's done.
I saw him with Flotsam last time I saw him.
Yeah. So I was very shocked to see him in such a a thrash band. So he's
well,
awesome.
I mean,
awesome.
You know, some of the Chastain stuff and all was pretty technical and heavy as well. You know,
true. But I
didn't into that interview where
August 7th and August 8th is going to be Flotsam and Jetsam week on Rat Salad Review and right here on Almost Human.
And on the Rat Salad Review, I'm going to ask Ken Mary if he was part of the band Pedophile, even though I know he wasn't. I'm just going to bring it up. Were you in that band Pedophile on Metal Massacre 9? So yeah, guys, thanks again, Tony and Wayne. As always, we will be back next week. And oh man, I can't make next Tuesday. Fuck.
Next Tuesday?
Is it next Tuesday?
Thursday. Wednesday and
Thursday I can do. Wait, no.
My show is Wednesday.
Thursday's this show.
And Thursday's this show. 7th and 8th.
When's yours?
Wednesday.
Oh, I can do it. Yeah, Tuesday I got something.
How many fingers am I holding up? Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay.
By the way, you look a little shorter. Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, I am shorter. Yeah, I went to the doctor.
Yes, I know.
And I've been 5'11" all my life, and now I'm 5'9". I went down 2 fucking inches. That's
osteoporosis.
Insane. Yeah, I'm shrinking, man.
You've been drinking milk?
I drink milk. I mean, I should drink more than I do, but I drink at least a glass a day. Anyway,
you need more calcium. Eat more Tums. You need more calcium.
I need to get rid of the shingles. That's what I need to get rid of.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's right. Now I got shingles. If this year wasn't bad enough for me,
you really have shingles now?
Shingles.
Really? Where?
In the same spot I had that diverticulitis bullshit.
Really? Oh my God. You're a fucking mess.
I am a mess. I'm telling you, if I make 2025, it'll be a miracle.
Go ahead and order him to Kiss Coffee. He's going to need it soon.
Yeah,
we're going to do
everybody do a GoFundMe and get me a Kiss Coffin, please.
Kiss Coffin. GoFundMe for Ralph's Kiss Coffin.
Yeah.
That's right.
But I do want to thank you very much for doing the Severed Angel review of Skyward. Really,
you're very welcome.
I'm glad you liked it.
Everybody, check it out. I did a review of Skyward, the new Severed Angel, that I liked very much. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as the other one because the other one, I'm on it.
Yeah, I figured that. Yeah,
but it's actually better. I got to say, it's better.
Yeah, it's more cohesive. I think the next album.
It would have been even more better if I did the intro, but I'm just saying it's better than the first album.
We'll another time. We'll get you back on another Severed Angel album.
So everybody, again, thank you so much for viewing the Almost Human Live. It's always a big hit every week with all my awesome viewers. Yep. And I want to thank all my awesome viewers for all the awesome comments they leave me. And I want to thank all the pickle whistlers that I delete off the channel and I hide you. Hey, at least you watch my videos. You may be a dick and not deserve to be on my channel, so I hide you. But you still checked out the video. You gave it a view.
That's right. They gave me the view. That's all that matters.
So thank you very much, pickle whistlers, and all you non-pickle whistlers. I love you all. Till next week. But every day come to the Almost Human channel because I got usually more than one video a day. And with the only news that matters. And yes, a little teaser. Sammy Hagar recently came out and said that David Roth has been in hiding ever since that Sammy invited him to come out on the tour. That's going to be on an Only News That Matters soon. Another Sammy Hagar bash. So
Did you see? Did you see where he said his current tribute to Van Halen was more Van Halen than Van Halen?
It's more Vangina than Vangina. And it's not actually, because Vangina would play 1 or 2 Sammy songs. Now he's doing 5 or 6. Oh, fuck him. Fucking guy sucks. Sammy Hagar sucks.
Have either of you seen the Corey Feldman thing going around right now?
Him playing the guitar solo.
I've seen 3 different from 3 different shows.
Yeah,
it's so bad. It reminds me of me on guitar.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. You know? So he'll be making the Rolling Stone Top 100 guitarist list very soon.
He'll be right next to Taylor Swift.
Yeah, him and Taylor
Swift.
But it's so funny. He does the guitar solo, and he's just down at the at the bottom there, and he's just doing what we would do, because we don't know how to play guitar. I don't know how to play guitar, and he thinks it's like the greatest thing in the world. And he's like, "Thank you."
Yeah, no, that's the part I love. I mean, after he's done with that slop fest, the crowd actually cheered, and they're cheering because it's so bad.
Exactly.
And he's like, "Thank you."
Someone panned the crowd, and it was like barely anybody there. But it's fucking hilarious. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Yes.
All right, everybody. So, for the 5th time, see you next week, next Thursday on Almost Human Live. Smack 'em a gob.
Bye-bye.